Okay, here we go. Inverses of a function. It's the last section, 10-7. When you see the word inverse, you automatically think flip. And I'll even show you guys a basic example. Okay, let's take a table. 1, 2, 7, 8, 3, 9, 4, 1. If we find the inverse, we're flipping the table. This is the inverse table. The x's and y's flip. 3, 9, 4, 1. 1, 2, 7, 8. Boom. That's it. That's the inverse. You're flipping your function. You're flipping your x and y. Okay. So notice this. Boop, boop. There you go. It's the inverse. Okay. It's that simple. However, let's now talk about how to find the inverse of a function. Okay. Let's talk about how to find the inverse of a function. Okay. First of all, what is the graph of f of x equals x squared for x greater than 0? What is the graph of the inverse? Notice this. The reason why we're not going to graph everything is because of the inverse of it. Okay. So I'm not really going to graph the inverse. Okay. Because I want to focus on this. Okay. You guys all know how to, make the points and then graph it. I'm not going to stress about that too much. But I want to focus on this in particular. Okay. We need to flip, in order to find the inverse algebraically, we're going to flip the x and y and then obviously get y by itself, okay? Subtract 6, divide by 2. It also looks like this, x minus 6 over 2 equals y, okay? It can also look like this as well. Very simple. So let's do this one here real quick. Okay, remember that this is equal to y, so we're going to flip it. 3y squared, we divide by 3. Okay, and then we square root it. So the square root of x over 3 is equal to y. Boom, we're done. Let's get y by its, or let's flip the variables. Add 7. There you go, you're done. That's simple, that's it, okay? And that's where you're gonna be focusing on actually in this lesson in particular. Finding it out, the inverse of it, okay? Keenan plans to fly that 1,097 miles from Miami to New York City to help assemble a dinosaur exhibit at a museum. He wants to use the miles he earns from his credit card purchase to pay for his flight. How much will Keenan need to spend in order to earn enough miles to go from Miami to New York City? So here's your equation. You get 1/10 of a mile per dollar spent. You spend that much plus the bonus miles. We need to find the inverse to figure out the total number of miles he needs. So we have to flip the variables, get y by itself, boop, we get it, okay? So we're gonna plug in now 1097, okay, in for the inverse to figure out how much he needs to spend. There you go, okay? So now let's suppose he changes the program so he only earns 1 mile for every $8 he spends, okay? So let's go back to this. It's every 1 mile for every $10 he spends. So I need to divide 1 by 8, and believe it or not, 1 divided by 8. Okay, let's do that real quick. 1 divided by 8, it's 0.125. So it's gonna be 0.125x plus 500, okay? So 0.125x plus 500 is equal to y. If we flip the variables, 0.125y plus 500 equals x. Subtract 500, divide by 0.125. It's going to be x minus 500 over 0.125, and that's equal to y. Okay, so now we need to figure out how much you need to spend. So I'm going to plug in 1097. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do that in a different color. Okay, so 1097 minus 500 over 0.125 is equal to y. How much he needs to spend? Let's do the math real quick on good old Desmos. Do you have a Desmos? I do. There we go. Okay, so parentheses 1097 minus 500 divided by 0.125. He needs to spend $4,776. Okay, so it's equal to $4,776. It's a very easy lesson. Very easy lesson. I can't stress this enough. Just look at the textbook, do the work. Remember, inverse means flip. Okay, it means flip. Okay, get to it, enjoy, have fun.